What the fuck is up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna be showing you how to make a trap beat, something like Lil Baby, something like Future, Drake, 21 Savage. It's just a generic trap beat. I'm gonna show you how to make one that sounds amazing, and I'm gonna give you the sauce. So let's go. First of all, you need to start with your BPM. So in beats like these, you're gonna want something fast-paced, something like 160 to 175. With this beat, I went to 171, and for example, I can show you how that sounds. Yeah, so real fast pace. After that, after you have your BPM figured out, you're just gonna need to find your instruments. So first of all, with these beats, I like to start with a nice piano. So for the first sound, let me turn off these effects. I went into Keyscape and I got this club piano from LA, you know. Let me just show you what that sounds like. So it sounds real dry right now, but once you have your sound, you're just gonna figure out some catchy melody. So let me show you quick. Real ominous, real dark. You want to use these right here, just notes that are half step away from each other. That just creates that tension in the sound, and that really helps create like an ominous fucking I'm gonna kill you type vibe. Once you have your core sound figured out, I didn't really go too crazy with this. I just added a couple notes. You want to find some sounds to layer it with. So after that, I picked up this bell from one of my drum kits I have. It's just a generic ass bell. It just sounds like fucking that. So I'll give you it. Again, you don't really notice it. It's just adding layers to the beat, and it sounds good combined with everything else. That's it with the piano right there. No effects, by the way. After that, I went into Xenology, and as I'm going through these beats, it kind of just comes to you. Like you'll hear something, or something will come to mind where you're like, okay, that's gonna sound great. When I got to this part, I was like, okay, this is gonna sound crazy, because I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted a vocal chop. I wanted some vocals just to come in. And so I went into Xenology, and I went into Choir, the ooh-ahs, Fox, and it sounds like this. This is with no effects. This is really just adding more to that layer, just creating more space in the sound. After that, I added another sound. You don't want to overdo it with sounds. You don't want to create too much so the listener is just like, what the hell is going on? But I did add another string. I went into Xenology again. I got this warm string right here. It sounds like this. Just layers and layers, just taking up that sound, making it sound real warm. Together, the whole melody sounds like this, all the sounds combined. Again, this is with no effects. So before I move into the drums, let me go over the effects I put on these things. On the piano, first of all, I put a reverb, Valhalla Vintage Burb with these settings. I added a glitch too with just reverses throughout. I can show you what that sounds like. You can hear that. It's just, you hear that reverse. Adding more bounce to the beat. I added the reverb. I added this to cut out the lows, this EQ to cut out the low so it doesn't muddy up the low sound. I had the 808 and the kick. Also added this fresh air just to add some of that high end back, make it sound crispier. And I added this fruity limiter, but I'll get into that later. From there, I also added effects to the strings as well as the vocals. I just cut out the lows with this EQ, added another reverb and a delay on this. Sounds like this with all of the effects. Once you have your melody figured out, it's really the easy part. You gotta get some banging ass drums. So what I like to do is I start out with a hi-hat just to create that bounce and get a feel for it. So I picked up this sound, just a nice hi-hat. I think I got it from this drum kit. You can find, I think I found this drum kit on Reddit. That's really where I get all my drum kits. The place to find drum kits, r/drum kit. I set up this little this little pattern. There's a couple rolls in here, but I didn't do anything crazy. It sounds like this. After that, I added a snare somewhere in here. Same drum kit. Added that snare. After that, I just kept rolling. I added this 808. I knew the next thing was the 808. I grabbed this spins from this kit right here. This Holy Grail. That sounds like this. It's just following the notes in this melody. It's just following the same notes. Now you cannot fuck up your 808 because it is a key aspect in it. You want to have a banging ass 808 just as something to complement. So this is what it sounds like all together. And again, I took out the lows already out of these sounds, so it doesn't really clash with anything. Well, from there it was just, there wasn't much else to do. I could add more sounds, but I don't want to overdo it. So I added a kick just to add more punch to it. Now with the kick, let me show you what it sounds like first. It sounds like this, just following the same pattern as the 808. And with this, with my kick and my 808, I don't want them to clash at all. I have the kick sidechain to the 808, and I put the limiter on it, so when the kick plays the same time as the 808 will duck a little bit, just to add a little more, just to create more space in that low sound, so it's not getting muddy as hell. And I also like to have the kick sidechain to my main melody as well. Now at this point, it was just time to arrange it and figure out what I was going to do with this reverse. Just to create movement in the beat, I'd turn it off in this part right here, just to give a break from that reverse sound. And then I also added this riser right here in the start. I think it's about time to view the finished product. Here you go.